This is Mark Madden for Bet Rivers and Baseball Bets. Bet Rivers Sportsbook invites you to add variety to your baseball bets with new same-game parlays. Every game this baseball season, you can combine game bets and player props to create your perfect combination. Whether you're looking to increase your payouts on favorites or make your own long shot, you can add a little extra spice to your game with same-game parlays at Bet Rivers. Go to the Bet Rivers Sportsbook app or betrivers.com and make your baseball same-game parlays. Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We gotta get you out of here. I'll put a lot of heat on you. Well, you punched me in the face.
Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance. I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Welcome to episode number 81 of the Batman on Film Social Hour. I am the founder of Batman on Film, Bill Ramey. And with me, that's kind of dry. That was a very dry intro. Don't you think, Ryan
That's okay.
Lauer, senior BOF contributor?
We can only go up from here. All right.
Yes.
We're gonna
yes.
we're gonna give each other a shot of adrenaline, and it's gonna
Sure.
pick up.
Episode 81. So I am back. I have not done a show in a couple of weeks. I had a 2-week work gig. So I'm back to retirement for a little while. But yeah, I had withdrawals from talking about the Batman and just doing Batman on Film stuff on a regular basis over the last 2 weeks. But thanks for carrying the show last week on episode number, well, it's episode 80. Yeah, I really like that. Chris
episode
Carter.
80, huh?
I like that Chris Carter
Yeah.
mention. Of course, now he did suck with the Philadelphia Eagles.
One of your favorite Eagles, right?
No. So you did bring up him as an Eagle, which is fine because he did stink it up as an Eagle, but he made his hay as a Minnesota Viking. So
He did. He got out of your conference, and so then he wasn't a threat. It's like, sure, be as
Yeah.
successful as you want. I don't care.
Yeah. So I did laugh when you brought that up. So
And I think Haas, when I said all that too, which thanks to Ryan Haas for joining me on that one, and he was just like, sports, I don't care. I don't know what this is. Let's get this over with. Let's move on to the Batman talk, please.
Haas is kind of a yay sports kind of a guy, so I suppose. Huh?
I think so. He never really chimes in much in our chats about anything with sports, so I don't think he really cares. The biggest fan he is of the Gotham Rogues. You know,
well,
that's his favorite football talk.
Good.
Yeah,
good for him. Everyone's got to have intro into a fandom, a different fandom somehow. So, all right, this show is part of the Batman Podcast Network. If you go to Batman on Film, the website, there is a logo, and just go up where it says podcast, and you'll find a drop down box and catch all the show or check out all the shows that are part of the Batman Podcast Network, the BPN. Time for a little witty banter. So I got up this morning and I went to Walmart because I had to get dog food. So I went early. I went like at 6:00 this morning, right? So I was up. I just said, hell with it.
Terrible.
Well, there's hardly anybody in there. It was a good thing. But I mean, I was just up and I knew I had to go, and I knew I had this show scheduled for 9 Central. So I said, I'll just go ahead and go. So I go down there. of course, I had to take a gander through the toy
Always.
section
Always.
just to see what might be there. And I did pick up 2 of those. What was I forget every time the brand that did the more kid friendly version of the Batman stuff.
The superpowers?
No,
Is that what you
for
got?
the Batman movie. They did the
Oh my gosh. Oh, Pete would kill us right now.
I know. I'm trying to look around on my Batman. God. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, Pete will be upset. Spin Master. Okay. Sorry, Spin Master.
Thanks,
so
Google.
I did I did pick up a Penguin and Selena Kyle Spin Master action figure. I guess they're
the little ones.
But yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed that those are all starting to go on clearance now too.
Dude, they were $2 a piece.
Yeah. You gotta.
And they had the Jim Gordon with the police car.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was like $26.99. If that thing had been under $20, I probably would have got it too.
I saw that one at mine for 15 on clearance, and I didn't pull the trigger still because I don't know. I just didn't. But if I want those, the little, like you just said, the Oswald and Selena, which the lowest I saw was $3, and I held off for some stupid reason.
They had the Batman. They had a Batman as well, but I have that because that came with the Batmobile, Spin Master Batmobile. So I didn't get another one, but I will say I had it in my cart, and I had 3 of them, and I thought, well, I'll put this one back because I really kind of have that for the Batmobile. So anyway, so I'm moving along, and I'm heading toward the pet section, and I had to pass the electronics part, and guess what they keep over there? They keep
collectibles.
And they have Funko Pops.
Uh-oh.
And they had the big Funko Pop Batman from the Batman. You know what I'm talking? The big ass one.
I've started to see him too, and I'm like, God, I can't.
And I'm gonna tell you,
can't do it.
I stared at it. I even picked it up and held it in my hands at least 25 and a half minutes. And just having a debate in my mind whether I was going to buy it or not. But I put it back on the shelf, and I just moved away with my
cart. Is
that
a case where you come back to announcer Rachel and you're like, listen, I want you to see how strong I was that I put back a Batman action figure. I put back a Batman toy.
This is what I'll do. I'll say, she'll see the new thing. There's 2 new things I bought. And she'll say, you got more toys? That's what she'll say. You got more toys?
Oh, yeah.
you got 2 more dolls? And I go, they're action figures. And I'll say, well, let me tell you something. I had in my hands, and I almost sat in the cart and wheeled away with it, the big ass Batman from the Batman Funko Pop for like whatever it was, $25, $30. I don't remember exactly what the price was, but and then that way the little $2.50, whatever they were, action figures.
I could have bought all that, but I didn't.
Nothing. Yes. So
I didn't.
So that's my story for this morning. What you got? I hope you held something up. So
finally I got that Batman Superpowers line that they just launched. That's at Walmart, and they also have Superman. They have Darkseid. You, Bill, may know him as Uxas for Peter Bear.
I don't even know what that is. I don't.
They have Green Lantern, John Stewart Green Lantern. They have the Supermobile. I don't know if you remember the Supermobile.
The Supermobile.
And then the Batwing, in which I will try and
the Batwing is
so he can see.
Yeah, that's very 1989
Yeah.
esque, isn't it?
The Supermobile is funny because it looks like it's got little fists that punch. And
Yeah.
also, why does Superman need a flying vehicle?
Exactly.
But apparently it's from stuff. So, and a lot of the collectors and stuff have been on the hunt for these. And now here I can pull a bill here. I
Okay.
picked up the Batwing in addition to the Batman figure.
Yeah.
Looked at it, held it, and said, "No, I'm going to be good today. I'm just going to get the
Okay.
Batman figure." So the
What's
Batman
that
figure,
run?
$10.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I mean, obviously, if you get the Batwing, also Batman sits in the Batwing if
Okay.
you want to put him in that way. But it's interesting to me. I really like how it's a throwback. You know, it feels very
Yeah.
like 80s or 70s, but yet it's Batman Hush. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun. They're all fun. I know they're starting to pop up more, so more people are buying them.
So do you leave that in the box, or are you a takeouter?
I don't leave them in the box for the sense of they'll lose their value if I open them.
Yeah.
I just think presenting wise, a lot of some, I like the packaging.
Mhm.
I just think it looks cool in the packaging. So I sit them
Yeah.
up in the packaging because it just looks, I don't know, it looks better that way than if I open it and have it try and stand on its own. Like I like the Pattinson's figure in the box more, and I took him out and I put him on my shelf, and he's got the grapnel up and it's pointed up or whatever. But I'm like, I just can't pose it right to where it looks better than it was in the packaging. I'm like, this is why I don't open them, I think.
Yeah. I'm
but
with you.
Also have the dilemma. I haven't opened this one yet. This is your pal, Lee Bermejo, who's on fire lately with these covers, these variants for this Joker series that's coming up. I don't know if you've seen these new figures. This is kind of dark. I'm trying to show.
I see it.
You do? Okay. There's also, when you go to the back, they're based on his.
This is McFarlane.
Yeah, McFarlane. There's a Superman, John Constantine, and then Batman figure, all based on this exclusive English comic book that's Black Adam that is inside of the package. And it's got a Bermejo cover as well. But it's Bermejo Batman.
I have to get hold of that right there.
Yeah. They're starting to pop up. They're in Target and Walmart now.
I didn't see that at Walmart. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do after. Besides work out, I know what I'm gonna be doing after this. I'm gonna get on
Target.
I'm gonna get online and see if they're available. I got to get that one. I would like to have the first one you showed me, even though I'm not a fan of Blue Batman or Hush, for that matter.
Yeah.
So, but I'm with you. You've been in my office. You know, I keep most of my stuff boxed up. Like I've got that.
And there's something about on the back of the package with the Bermejo Batman, him posed. It's like, I don't know, that just doesn't look as good as him in the package.
You know who is a professional action figure poser? Pete Vera.
Peter R. Vera. Yes, that guy. He knows what to do. Mine
never looked like his though when he shows his posed. I've got that professional. I've got that McFarlane Batman, 60s Batman. I got the unmasked Batman, and I keep that.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it over there. It's in the box because it looks good, and I have all of my McFarlanes are in the box except for the Batman. Yeah, I did take the Batman.
You took those out. I saw those.
Yeah,
when we were down there for the watch party.
And I'll take my Funko. I'll take my Funko Pops out.
This McFarlane, the Bermejo Batman, it's $25. Now the extra $5 though is because there is a comic book that's included. A comic book on its own would be either $4 or $5. So you're kind of running at the same price as normal. It's like I don't know, add it all up, it's about normal, but it is $5 more. And then this last thing, Bill, I forgot to grab for you, but it relates to you. Also at Walmart, in the back to school section, I don't know if you saw this, the Batman binder bundle. Did you see this?
Oh, no, I did not, because I didn't go to the back to school section.
I don't need 4 notebooks and a binder and a folder of the Batman. But damn it, you put it out there for sale and I'm going to get it.
Yeah. You know what? So do I. I need it now.
Yeah.
even though I don't.
I mean, it is cool. There's a spiral bound notebook that says Vengeance, and it's got the Batmobile on it. There's I don't know what kind you call them, where it's not like a binder, but it's like a black spine notebook that says I Am the Shadows, and it's got the bat symbol and the Batman on it. And then the folder you can kind of see.
Yeah.
It's that cool looking, says I Am the Shadows, and then it's his silhouette with the
that's
cool
the shot
color.
from the little the novel.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yep. And then the coloring's teal instead of black. And then I don't know, I think the binder itself on the spine says I Am the Shadows, and then it has just Pattinson Batman. I saw it, and as nerds usually do, it's like, I don't need it. I put it away, and then I was like, I got home and I said, I need it.
Here's how I can justify it. As you see here,
yeah,
I do buy spiral notebooks, and I use it to do all my note taking. And this is the history part, the history nerd in me.
Yeah.
I save all these, preserving history, preserving Batman on film history, my notes for when I do podcast, or if I do, if there's something I'm going to write about that I need. And I'm an old school note taker.
I like writing them out too. I'm with you. I totally understand. I have a Lego Batman notebook that I got as a gift a few years ago, and I only have a couple pages of that left because I use that for my podcast, and then I use it for stuff for BOF when I'm on. And like kind of like you said, I even the other day just like flipped and saw the very opening in the very first episode I did, and notes and stuff like that. So I get it.
Yeah. So I'm with you. So speaking of the Batman, let's talk about chapter 8.
Let's talk about the Batman.
Yeah. Chapter 8. You punched me in the face. Or you punched me in the face. So
did you know? I didn't know until you teased that. Well, you punched me in the face. That this is the 8th time that I've seen this movie. And I always thought he just says, and I know it's not a big deal, but I always thought he says, well, you punched me in the face. No ED.
You know what? I did too. And then I wanted to make sure I was right.
Of course.
So I turned on the subtitles the second time I watched it. And, Batman says, and we'll get to it here in a second, you're going to catch a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Well, you punched me in the face.
You punched me in the face.
Yeah. Yes. Got it. So this was, it's one chapter based on the Blu-ray, how it's divided up. So that's how we're going. But this is like 3 different scenes almost,
I agree with that. Because I was wondering when it was going to end. I had an idea of when it was going to end. And I hopped to something else. And then I hopped to something else. I was like, oh, and then kind of like when it stops was pretty abrupt, it seems also.
I figure it would stop after he escapes from Gotham City Police Department, but it continues. And once I saw the scene again that follows, I said, okay, this ties in. Because that's where, that's where you could have pulled that punch, man.
Yeah.
I did.
I did.
But we'll get to it. Let's do it.
All right.
As we usually do, and we'll talk about it. So starts off, Batman is at the Gotham City Police Department, unconscious, lying on a table in a holding cell. This is right after the encounter, I guess you want to say, with the Riddler, kind of, through a cell phone at the church with Coulson. Coulson and the explosion that knocks him out. Did it bother you that going back to that scene? I've seen some people complain, nitpick. Why didn't Batman have any sort of? Why didn't it physically damage him or hurt him, being so close to the bomb exploding?
Never bothered me because you see he has his arms up as he's flying back from the explosion.
Yeah.
I also don't want to see Batman's face half charred for the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll bring it up. Remind me of. I'll bring it up when we get to. I don't know, when we get later on in the scene. I'm going to bring up a quote that I really appreciate that I saw this week that will pertain to people who criticize that, as well as something in this chapter.
Okay, very good. So
there's my tease. Stick around.
I just always, in my mind, he blocked it. He had he has armor on. So, and you do see the suit getting worn out a little bit more and more throughout the film. So, didn't bother me. I like the holding cell scene quite a bit with all the police in there. Batman wakes up, at first.
Couple that we saw in the first Fandom trailer, which I think we were all like, wait, what?
What the hell? Yeah, you just don't get the context. And Batman, I like the fact that Batman is very belligerent. Is that the right word I want to use? I mean, he doesn't give a shit that all those cops are in there, and he's still going to be Batmaning. And there's got to be, luckily Gordon's in there, Gordon's like, relax, God damn it. And then we get our I've been waiting for this guy to show up. Haven't you? Mackenzie Bach.
Oh my God.
So there's Mackenzie Bach, and then there's Officer Kinsey.
Oh man.
Did you ever think about that? There's Kinsey, last name, and then there's Mackenzie Bach.
Yeah. Which I think I'm discovering. I'm going through the Road to No Man's Land with Peter for my show. And I know I didn't think of this. I didn't create this or anything, but it just snapped to me because I just read a chapter yesterday of Mackenzie Bach is a detective in GCPD in comic books.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Let's see. And just typing that in really quick, it says Mackenzie Hardback Bach was a detective in the Gotham City Police Department. He later became chief of detectives. And you know what? In the little bit I've dealt with him so far and reading those comics, he's a lot less annoying.
Okay.
In the comics, he's an African American man.
Okay.
Obviously, he's not in the movie. I feel like Reeves is probably going for, I don't know, like what would you say? What is by Mackenzie Bach? What kind of not Italian?
No.
Would he be? But I feel like there is some kind of throwback police group that I don't know, that vibe that he was going with.
Yeah.
For these, and especially with this Chief Bach dude. With his voice too.
He's like, you son of a bitch.
First viewing on, every viewing with that, I just kind of, I don't know what I feel when he said, because I mean the line, and sorry to jump to this he says, you interfered with an investigation. Coulson's blood is on his hands. And Batman says, maybe it's on yours. Those are bad voice impressions, I know. And he says, maybe it's on yours. Insinuating because he's starting to reveal of this whole, the rat. And then Coulson just takes that beat, not Coulson, Box takes that beat right in his face. And, you son of a bitch. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I mean, that's the same as what the hell's going on here? Man, who are these characters that Reeves has in the Batman? I mean, those two. It's like, you have to have a crazy
I want to hear
way of talking to be on GCPD.
Wouldn't you like to have a scene between Bach and the commissioner, Savage?
Oh my God. How long can we last?
I mean, that would have been really entertaining to me, just for all. And then Martinez pops up every once in a while. Hey, or whoa, 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 whoa. So yeah, I like the whole thing, you son of a bitch. And Batman just, Batman's in his mind, it's like all you son of a bitches. Speaking of son of bitches are corrupt as hell. That's probably what he's thinking by this time. And he mentions that Coulson about Coulson being killed by the Riddler, and Batman says he'd rather die than talk. And so, I mean, who else is involved? So, then we get into, Batman. He's going to insult. Well, I got you for assaulting an officer. You got me for assaulting 3.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. It doesn't skip a beat. He's just instant, just like that. That's great.
And Gordon steps in. Back off, back off. He's gonna get him. He's gonna get him to comply, get him to cooperate. And when I first see it, I'm thinking, okay, is Gordon gonna come down on Batman here? And kind of say, kind of side more with the police. And then I think the whole scene with Gordon and Batman, once Bach, you got 10 minutes.
Yeah. I remember the Pattinson, which I'm surprised he didn't do more late night visits. He only visited Jimmy Kimmel. And this was like, I think the front half of February when he was on. So before the tour really kicked up, of the promotional tour, and they showed the scene, but they started it after Gordon says, well, you punched me in the face. And I was obsessed with this because I thought, like, I don't know, it felt so different. I love this scene a lot because I think the music is great. The building up before it really takes off, and it's like very stringy, like dun, 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 like building. Kenzie comes in. You've got Gordon talking where it seems like in this really weird way, like it's back and forth. He's going, sort of deal and whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, another, member of GCPD talking strange. And I mean, that clip, it's like a minute clip, maybe a minute and a half of that. And then as it plays out, and I remember seeing that with Kimmel, and I was like, man, what is going on here? But holy shit, do I really like the vibe of this scene? In which, of course, it's not the whole scene. I think they did really, really well of teasing with that, because if you start that scene with Gordon telling him, well, you punched me in the face, well, then when he punches him in the face, for teasing in that interview, it explains itself, and you're like, that's why, as opposed to, holy shit, why is Batman punching Gordon?
Yeah, even Batman, like, like I said, I question, is Gordon going to come down on Batman? Is he going to side with the police here, or what's going on? Even Batman, says to him, he says, you too now,
yeah, which it's really smart, and it just, I don't know, really makes you appreciate the relationship that they've built by the time this movie starts. But you're seeing it play out here too, that I feel like Batman at that point, he's not playing. He's being very genuine too, of almost like the disappointment, the betrayal of, like, you two now. And then Gordon, blah, 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 whatever, and then gets him in the cell.
Yeah, this ain't the way to do this, Chief.
And then punches him in the chest, and then he like turns. He's like, "We gotta get you out of here, man."
Yeah.
And I don't know. I love that in the cut to Batman of like, it hits him of like, oh shit, okay, I get it.
I love when they show that scene from like the point of view of the cops who are watching, and you see, Gordon's doing his thing, like he's giving Batman a what for, and punching him in the chest, and doing that, doing that head motion, like he's maybe quietly chewing ass, but they're scheming, basically. We got to get you out of here. Okay.
Yeah.
And
brilliant.
But they're both, you see, you could, you know, Pattinson with his eye work, you could see he's constantly, his eyes are darting over.
Mm-hmm.
He's still, as a detective, in my interpretation, he's checking out everyone involved, and he's probably thinking, this is in my head. He's doing this. He's thinking, who's corrupt? Who who else is involved with all this? Because he got like he says, you two now, with Gordon, all the damn police is corrupt, So I just think it's a great scene. I do like, you're gonna take a lot of, I got to get you out of here, you got to get blah blah blah, and explains to him how to get out of there. You're gonna take a lot of heat, you're gonna take a lot of heat. Batman saying it's like, you really want to do this because you're gonna take a lot of heat. And then Gordon instantly says, well, you punched me in the face, and he's still doing that head back and forth because you see it, then they go back to the police point of view, and you just see what they see, and it's Gordon, and I'm doing this on a podcast, you can't see me, but Gordon, his whole body language is he's getting on Batman, and he's coming down on Batman and whatnot. So yeah, I like it a lot.
I do too. And then it does shift with that as Kenzie comes walking into the group and thinking kind of like, what's going on? And then, it pivots the conversation now toward Batman yet again of like, there's this effing Kenzie guy.
Yeah.
Yet again, and tells him of
who's the mustache with the broke nose. He sees him. It's great. Yeah. It goes right back to what I said. He is checking out those cops. He's still doing detective work. He's just, getting more information. And Kenzie walks in. Yeah.
Ran into him at the Iceberg Lounge, and then Gordon says Kenzie moonlights with the Penguin, and Batman says, or he moonlights as a cop.
That's a great line.
It does. It's great. And it's almost like Kenzie too. I don't know what I interpret him as thinking, because Reeves does focus on zooming in on Kenzie, who's like looking at it, and he almost has like, Kenzie almost has like an oh shit look on his face too.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to interpret that of like what he's possibly thinking other than oh shit. Or maybe it is just like, well, it's the Batman. I don't know.
There's the Batman. He broke my nose. He knows what Batman knows.
What's going on?
What I do on the side. This is just so much little things that, because you don't know. Okay, I am pretty sure by this time that Martinez is a good cop. Not 100% sure at that point, but
we know Martinez is a good guy at this point.
Yeah. We don't know about Bach.
Yeah.
Don't know about the rest of them.
Maybe Bach is a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That guy.
You son of a bitch.
It's hard to do without killing your throat. And
yes.
Have you seen him in other stuff? Like if you pull up his picture on IMDb and go through some of his pictures, man, he got lost in that the Bach role.
Yeah.
I think he looks very different. I can see it for sure, similarities, but
so does Martinez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still got pearly white teeth though.
Yeah. Well, we get to a big action scene. Gordon tells Batman.
Name of the track, Escaped Crusader. That was the first one that jumped out to me of like, this is some clever soundtrack titles from Michael Giacchino. And yeah, Escaped Crusader. Yeah. And yeah, right when the punch lands, that's when the music like really picks up and it gets really exciting. And that's what got me to continuously like pull up that Jimmy Kimmel clip and rewatch it, because I love that.
I enjoy him running. I like him grappling up with the staircase. Almost kind of I know it's probably not intentional, not, but it does kind of remind me of Batman Begins when Batman is,
Out of Arkham.
Yeah.
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 I can see
a
that.
little bit, just the visually, not, visually, just the
Yeah.
that classic picture of the cape spread like a bat and the staircase look. But he's going up and and Pattinson's reaction when he gets to that roof and he it's like,
Can I backtrack really quick? And I won't take. I promise I won't. I love again. We get a close up of the grapple shooting out of his gauntlet basically to fire up to go up the staircase. And just the sound of that is awesome to me. And then I remember so many people trying to figure out more of the Batman and pausing this scene because they swear they saw somebody in a Court of Owls mask in that stairwell. I don't know if you ever came across that, because everybody's trying to find that nugget, which always made me laugh. And as we know, there's no Court of Owls.
No.
But then somebody brought it to my attention, and not in like a negative on the movie, just something that they noticed that was kind of funny, is as Batman's running through GCPD and the cops are running, trying to get through the holding cell and then coming around the other way, that there is just like, they'd always be like, what are they yelling? Because it just sounds like, ah! And it made me think of like South Park would always do that if it's a group and they just go rabble, 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 rabble. I thought of that this time. The cops just, Reeves just directing all of them. Pull a South Park. All right, let's go. Rabble, 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 rabble.
Yeah. I'll never watch that scene again.
My bad.
I'll watch it. No. I mean, not that I won't watch it again. That will be on my mind for every time I watch it now.
Rabble, rabble.
I like how he gasps Batman Pattinson, and Reeves talked about that was pure. That was Pattinson's idea. The whole reaction.
This is Batman's first time doing this, you think?
Maybe so.
That's how I took it. I feel like he'd be more comfortable if he'd done this before, and this is maybe a new thing for him.
Yeah, because he's got the paragliding suit built in to the suit, just inflates, and I think, well, he's been on the street. He's down on the street most of the time, right?
Yeah.
He's down with the element.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is probably the first time, and we've talked about this before, the cops are kind of letting him do his thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Because he's not a threat. Or he was not a threat. Now he's starting to become a threat for a variety of reasons. But yeah, I'm with you. First time he's done that. Maybe he doesn't know. I don't know if it's going to work,
Yeah. And then wingsuits are real.
Mm-hmm.
Squirrel suits, wingsuits, whatever you want to call them. Didn't bother me that that's what he used. I don't think in this is the first time that I don't think I like the close-ups after he jumps off the building. The fact of him using a wingsuit, I like that. I like that that's already kind of incorporated into what he's got. It means he's prepared, and Bruce Wayne always has a plan C for plan D, But and I know that in the making of stuff, they showed how they did it, and that was really respectable and everything. And I don't know, there's just something with, I don't think I like the close-ups. I like how the camera is on him, like you're with him as he goes, as he leans off of the top of the building. I think that looks cool. And then of course, like the camera out as you're seeing him gliding, and he glides past the building and stuff. But they do, I think, 2 cuts to him like close up, and I think that to me, I'm just like, I don't know, just that part doesn't work.
I'm with you. I'm not a huge. I liked how it looked much more when he's like coming,
yes,
like he goes by the window, or even from above, above. So maybe that didn't need that close up of Pattinson, but I will say I do like the fact that he didn't make a perfect landing. That just
Perfect.
to me,
I knew we had to talk about this, and I'm really glad because there's a bunch of mooks online who love to just critique the hell out of this. And from the first viewing, to me, it made total sense.
Yeah.
Here's the Grant Morrison quote that I wanted to reference from the blowing up thing. And Grant Morrison, I couldn't agree more with a lot of this. I don't know if he said it originally in like a Rolling Stone article or something, but he said, kids understand that real crabs don't sing like the ones in The Little Mermaid. But you give an adult fiction and the adult starts asking really effing dumb questions like, how does Superman fly? How do those I-beams work? Who pumps the Batmobile's tires? It's an effing made up story, you idiot. Nobody pumps the tires.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying here because this is one too of when there's questions. So you take why isn't Batman's face burnt? This situation of like, why did he have to crash there? And why in the next scene was he not limping and stuff like that? And I'm like, it's a damn movie. Also, it made total sense to me as he's flying down of, oh, there's a big ass bus going underneath a bridge. There's no room for me. I have to pull my chute to pull back. But this is the first time I've done this. I'm inexperienced with this. I pull it too late. So when it retracts, it hits the bridge. I hit the bus and then skid. It made total sense the first time I saw it. And because nobody can enjoy anything these days, they have to rip it apart. That is so dumb. It's so unnecessary. And then criticize, even though knowing this is year 2 of Batman, that he didn't have a perfect superhero landing.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that gets so ripped apart when it's like, it is perfectly laid out right there. And I'm not some like physics professional or, or whiz or anything. It just seemed totally, that's the purpose of the cuts. You see oh shit, he's getting really close to, he's going to smack the bridge or smack the bus. Got to pull the chute, but it's too late. And he ends up smacking both. He does limp as he grunts and he's like, tries to hurry up and walk off into the alley. And so I just don't, and then follow that up with he's with Gordon with the cape and he seems fine, but it's like, but also he's not even walking. He's just standing there in that one. So maybe he's still hurt. I don't know. Because the next scene isn't some big hand-to-hand combat. It's he's standing and then he's in the Batmobile. So it's, I don't know, maybe he's hurt and he's limping. He's just not having to move in that scene really.
I like the fact
Bill, I tell you. Riled up.
I'm with you all the way. I'm even with Grant Morrison on this.
Yeah.
I think you get a little smarmy reaction of like, I thought this was supposed to be realistic. I thought this was supposed to be grounded. No one could take that kind of, well, probably not. But I've played in football games and it's like freaking car wreck for, 4 quarters. Especially where I played on the offensive line, and I've coached it. So, look, he's starting to slow down with the parachute, and I would even say that he's got armor on, and then the trash cans help break his fall to a certain degree. He's not going 150 miles an hour right into the ground, nothing like that. So and it's a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And I could just gloss it all over and say, you know what? Because he's freaking Batman. That's why.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fine if it didn't work for you. That's what's really funny is that a lot of it is like, I'm not going to sit there and try to argue with you to make you like it. It doesn't work for you. Cool. That's fine. And then it's I don't know, how you act about why it didn't work for you and then really pushing it. And it's like, okay, this is getting eye rolling here. Didn't work for you, that's fine.
Okay, again, I like I said, he didn't make a perfect landing. I like it because it shows that he's still in the early stages of becoming Batman. He's not perfect. And I do like the wingsuit, whatever, squirrel suit, paraglide, whatever you want to call it. Instead of using, and I do love, like in Batman and Begins in the Dark Knight trilogy, I like the cape as the glider.
Yeah. I feel
But
Reeves probably felt we can't do that again.
I'm
That's too
glad. I'm about to
fresh.
say that. I'm glad they didn't do the wings with the
Yeah.
cape again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
So, but am I right? I think going back to the, talking about actually how this isn't the cape part of the wing becomes part of the wingsuit.
I'm not sure. We'll have to pull out the Art of the Batman book to look and see how much, because when he goes, like, after he hits the bus and he skids, it looks like he's capeless.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know exactly.
I want to say it was in the Art of the Batman that the cape. Yeah. I want to say that maybe we talked about it, that even though it's not a glider, the cape was used. It's part of the wingsuit, so it kind of is in a way. That gives a purpose for him wearing a cape, So
yeah, it has to be. And then the next scene, he's got a cape. So
yeah,
I'm not exactly sure. That doesn't mean that they missed explaining because I didn't catch it. No, it means that
I think
I'm not the smartest.
I could
capture it.
I'm not going to have a bunch of dead air. I could just grab my Art of the Batman.
Yeah, I should have looked in mine, but I didn't.
I think we talked about that before, and I think I even said on that show when we talked about Art of the Batman is that it was kind of cool how they gave a purpose for him wearing a cape.
Yeah. I mean, it was like 4 months ago, so if we didn't remember it, that's okay. That's a lot of time.
Yeah. So you would think the scene ends there, but it cuts to the roof, the meeting place where the bat signal is.
I don't argue with people who said feels like maybe there's something missing between those two, because you do go from Batman taking this tumble, capeless, limping, grunting, cut to Gordon walking off the elevator. Batman's at the bat signal, and he's good. I don't know what I would want or need in between that two, but I can see that being for people who have mentioned that and done it in a what do you want to say, in a mature way. I say, okay, I can understand that if that made you question for a second. Doesn't bother me, but I can understand if it would.
When Gordon says, you could have pulled that punch, man. That just and it's funny. Batman goes, I did, but it also, to me, it's like this is right after that. Gordon leaves the police department office and goes to the meeting place that they know they are. We've already talked about the fact that they're partners. They know where they have to go after that. Because there's a lot of shit to talk about at that point, right?
Yeah. And I do. I love that line too.
Yeah.
Could have pulled your punch, man. I did.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Gordon talks to Batman about what he thinks about. Does he think Bach is part of it?
Son of a bitch.
It's Bach. It's Bach. You son of a bitch.
Those are some deleted scenes. You actually get Gordon and Batman going back and forth doing their Bach impressions.
Yes. Batman says straight up, I don't trust any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I only trust you. They both basically say they only trust each other. That's it. So and then it gets into the penguin the rat discussion.
Yeah.
And at that point, I will say, as they go through and he talks about El Rata Lata, a penguin's a bird too. Penguins have wings, whatever the line was. I'm starting to think, I'm talking about my first time watching, well, maybe Penguin is the rat.
I was totally sold. Oh, yeah, Penguin's the rat. I wasn't looking at my watch thinking, oh, we're only an hour and 15 minutes into this or anything like that. I just kind of thought, oh, the way the story's going, it seems like the penguin's the rat and he works for Falcone. Oh, yeah, he could be in big trouble if Falcone knew that. Like, okay, huh?
Rat, yeah, rat, a lot. And then it goes in because they're talking about the Riddler's latest clue.
Yeah.
They hadn't had a chance yet. El Rata Alada, and then the rat, it means rat with wings, and then it gets into the, penguins got wings too, Gordon says. Batman says, time for me to have another conversation with him. And Batman, it's all connected now. He says it's all connected. To find the rat, they have to find to find the Riddler, they have to find the rat. Bring him into the light. So at this point, we know that there's the rat that goes back to Coulson, talking about the rat with, Selina doing that undercover work for Batman. I know about the El Rata Alada, rat with wings, bring him into the light, and you'll find out where I'm at. And that, I'm with you. I'm thinking, okay, it's the damn penguin, the penguin's the rat. So then I'm thinking, okay, this chapter should end here, but then it gets into the, what is the scene right before the big Batmobile chase.
Mm-hmm. And I love that too, of where Gordon is talking with Batman as he's watching, and he follows and says that he's at the docks, and then Batman says, "I'm already here." He's already there. And then we have that cool shot that was also in the first Fandom trailer of the side view of him as the camera comes around and stuff, and he realizes that this at the docks is like a source of the drops.
Yes, City of Gotham,
also.
East Side Depot, Gotham Recycling. This is where they are. That's where the drug. It's a drug. It's a drug lab.
Mm-hmm.
And Batman says, "This is a drop."
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing the money. They're buying the drops. I love again that Gordon and Batman are partnering up and they're on a stakeout. Basically, is what it is.
Yeah.
The Penguin's there. Kinsey's there. And then
the Dumfries are there.
Mm-hmm. The dump, yes, they are.
The deterioration of the twins.
Yes. They spend this movie getting their ass kicked, don't they?
They do. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like when Batman says, "This just got complicated," when he sees Selina. Yeah.
Yep. Because it's like, you're not like, it's not like, oh shit, but it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
We had this Gordon, and now here comes Catwoman. She's a little bit of a wild card.
Yeah. And it's like, I like, this just got, he's very matter of fact, calm. This just got complicated, and she takes down. You find that a very, very Catwoman's like scene.
Very Catwoman like,
yeah.
Yep.
The whole thing. She's there to steal the money. And we later learn it's her reasoning behind it is a lot more than just stealing the money. You know what I mean?
Money.
Yeah. There's a reason. And the whip, the whole thing, it's a great scene. Penguin and his men show up with guns. So the thing is kind of going off the rails a little bit.
Well, that third bag that she opens is Annika.
Yes.
In which the music hits is perfect. The switch, you get a quick her reaction, and then this is a good part too, where Pattinson does a great subtle reaction of shock and surprise for him too. And the music, I think, you've always said this on podcasts and stuff of how much of a character score plays, and I think with this too, of that kind of I don't know, up there she is. It almost feels like this was Selina's story, was just finding her friend and then she's out. There's her friend's dead. Batman knows this as well as he sees her, and it's and it gives them the smallest amount of time to react and let that hit. And then you're surprised again with bam, and then it's just gunshots and
Yeah.
And look at that. How quick Batman goes up. He's getting shot and he instantly puts his arm over his face.
Mhm.
Huh. Weird. It's like he knows how to protect his face.
Yes. Yes.
Crazy,
So
isn't
it ends with a lot going on this chapter. So looking back, it is it starts off in the police department. It goes to basically we follow Batman in the air down to the ground from the
this
police
terrible
department.
crash scene, Bill. This
Yeah.
terrible crash scene.
And I thought this was supposed to be realistic.
Yeah, that was real.
I thought this was gritty and grounded. Anyway, and then we go to the building being constructed where the bat signal is with Gordon and Batman, and then we get the very beginning where they're on a stakeout. That part, would you this is really nitpicking the way the chapters are, because I'm not sure. Would you have like does the chapter feel like it ends naturally with the Batman Gordon meeting by the bat signal, and then what we know is the Batmobile chase scene? Does it start with the warehouse? But
I feel like I don't know, because they're with chapter breakups, as he a crash lands, that's where it could end. And then the next chapter seems like it could be an additional one, because it connects to cutting from the two of them by the signal to Gordon in the scouting out Penguin. And then I think the shot of Batman overseeing, and it's the docks as the cars are coming, I think that should start this scene and like where the next chapter, because I mean the next chapter is going to start with Penguin being like, budget, and it almost feels like right in the middle. So I don't know. I think that not a big deal. It just kind of surprised me where it stopped. And
would you like the scene better, or would you like to have seen, say, Penguin is firing his weapon and vengeance, and then Bach show up and go, that son of a bitch.
I think I have my Bach fill at this point. I mean, but maybe, I don't know. Show me that deleted scene, Reeves, because I think we're done seeing Bach, aren't we?
I was going to ask. I think so.
I think that's the end of it.
Is he at the press conference at the end of the film with the Mayor Real and Gordon?
I don't think so, because he'd have been standing next to Bella Real, but I think Gordon is. And then I think there might be like another deputy. I don't know if your boy Martinez is there or not, but I thought maybe a fireman's there or something. But Gordon's only like really recognizable. We'll see in 9 chapters when we get there.
So is Bach in on it as well?
I feel like he is.
Okay.
Like that's my guess, because I should rewatch it and see where Martinez is in the cell with all the police and where he stands, because apparently, I thought Haas brought it to my attention that Martinez is the one who says like something about like, I want to see his face or take off the mask or something. I think that's Martinez, but Martinez doesn't stand out at all in this scene. But I just took it as there's a reason. I mean, Batman's quite kind of questioning when he says to Bach of like, or maybe his hand, or the blood's on your hands or something like that to him.
Exactly.
Accuses him. It's like, I don't know, maybe there's something there because we don't see him. So maybe Bach's like, oh shit, they're onto me too.
I don't think he's there. To me, this is just, and we're getting way ahead, but when Batman leads Falcone out of the Iceberg Lounge and he walks into the police, my thing is these are the good cops.
That's what I think too. Yeah.
These are the good cops. There's
and
Gordon
there's a reason
there.
He's not there.
There's Martinez is there. And I don't see Mackenzie Bach, Chief Bach.
Yeah, he's a chief. He'd be involved in this, right? He outranks Gordon, so he'd have been there. I would feel, and at the forefront, we'd see him. and we don't. So I feel like he went to the wayside because he's one of the corrupted ones. It's
So
kind of how I interpreted it.
We'll
In
need
this
a new
rewatch, I'll see.
We'll need a new chief. We need a new commissioner. We need a new chief of police in the sequel. It's got to be O'Hara.
Oh, okay. I just thought Chief Martinez. Give him a promotion.
Well, you know what?
But yeah, let's bring in O'Hara.
I was being, tongue in cheek with that, but I have said Martinez better at least be a detective.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He should get promoted just like Gordon.
Does Gordon go? Now we're really dragging this out. We're going to have to wrap this up. Does Gordon go from lieutenant to chief, or does he go lieutenant straight to commissioner like in The Dark Knight? Or you do something different? Is he promoted to chief of police and there's a different
I say he goes to commissioner.
Okay.
We need a commissioner, Gordon. Let's bring him in.
Okay.
Here's the opening, because otherwise you replace with a different commissioner. Well, then we're just waiting again for this commissioner to get fired or killed so that Gordon can finally be it. And then it's just kind of like, okay, how many got to get killed? And then also at this point, it becomes a pattern of, man, if you're a commissioner, you're like the red shirts in Star Trek. You're a commissioner. You're killed. You're dead. So do you really like? What if Gordon's like, I don't want that promotion?
Yeah.
So I think Gordon becomes commissioner. Whether they fill that into the story where he gets promoted into it, or we start up and he is the commissioner. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Gordon needs to be commissioner, and Martinez at least has to be a detective.
Advise Reeves when you have lunch with him this week.
Yes.
He's writing the script.
Sure.
So there you go.
Yeah. All right. Good chapter. The next one's going to be fun to talk about. Really fun to talk about.
This chapter we just talked about, I love this one.
Yeah.
I love, I call it Escaped Crusader.
Yeah.
But I love this one a lot. And then, the next one. I was a giddy little child in the theater for this next chapter. So that's exciting too.
Well, that will tease it. That will be chapter 9 will be the Batmobile
vroom,
chase
vroom.
scene. Yeah. Vroom, vroom.
Or call it Christine.
Vroom.
I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to come up with a name on it. I do like, I think we're calling this just because we're trying to cherry pick actual lines from the movie for each chapter. So that gives you you punched me in the face for this. And that to me, it does it does speak to everything that went on here. Batman punches him in the face, blah, blah, blah. But Escape Crusader would have been a great title too. Just if you pull from the.
I like, you punched me in the face. It definitely, it represents the scene well. The next one, I'd be torn because you're always, you can do whatever you want, but yet you still ask me when you're about to name one. I'd be torn on whether I say this guy's crazy or I got Chew.
Yeah.
I think both of those kind of work. And they are lines from the next scene, next chapter.
Well, all right. And we will be getting to that shortly. So Ryan, plug away, sir.
Plug away. Okay, I'll try and make this quick. Go to batmanonfilm.com. I just recently helped launch the latest Batman on Film podcast, Batmanimation, with Ryan Haas, where we did a deep dive into a very underrated little gem from the final season of what originally started as a Super Friends show. An episode called The Fear, which is the first time outside of comics that the Wayne murders were shown. So it's a hidden gem. It's a great episode to track down and watch, but Ryan Haas and I got to talk about it for Batmanimation. So track that down in the BOF podcast feed. The BOF podcast episode 202 that dropped right before that. Sean Murphy, you heard of him? He came back to BOF. Javi Trujillo, and I got to talk to him for a long time. Sean Murphy's awesome. Gave a lot of cool information about his White Knight series, where it's going. And then also coming up is a review for the next White Knight tie-in, Red Hood number 2, written by Clay McCormick, This is also really, really cool. And speaking of Clay McCormick, he's the latest guest on my podcast, the Batman Book Club. See, Bill, it's all connected. There you go. It's all connected.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, Clay McCormick, he was on my latest episode that just dropped, the Batman Book Club. Bill is always gracious in posting those on Batman on Film. You can also track that down wherever you listen to podcasts. We talk about the first volume of Batman Black and White. So there you go. It was a busy Bat month this week.
Yeah.
Or this month.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I love it.
I'm excited to come on that Batman animation podcast. I've got it. I'm just going to tease it. I picked out the first one I want to do is an episode from Batman the Brave and the Bold titled Legends of the Dark Knight. So I'll look forward to that. That's good. This is good. I mean, if it's animation, if it's Batman in animation, it's open.
Right.
If it's Batman animation, it is fair game, movies, TV. So a lot to draw from for this podcast, right? Especially when we're getting so specific and individual.
It can go on as long as you want it to go on, because there's endless amounts of content to talk about.
All right. All thing I got is, of course, if you like what we do here at Batman on Film and want to help support, go to Patreon, patreon.com/Batman on Film. If you want to advertise on the Batman on Film podcast, advertisecast.com, advertisecast.com/Batman on Film. And got a lot of cool stuff at TeePublic, t-shirts, whatever. tpublic.com/Batman on Film. You can even though if you weren't there, it was such a great event. You want to support a Batman on Film, the Batman Watch Party, Dallas, Texas, on March 5th, 2022. You want to get one of those shirts and wear like you wear concert shirts, from old concert tours and so forth. Get you one of those to mark that occasion. And that's all I got. Announcer Rachel will plug us some more and help take us out. So for Ryan, I'm Bill. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jett's official vlog and podcast on Batman on Film. Follow Jett on Twitter @Batman on Film. Follow the BOF newsfeed on Twitter @The Batman on Film. For Jett and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, established in 1998.
Chartwell, Pennsylvania is the region's most clinically advanced home infusion and specialty pharmacy. Their state-of-the-art facility here in Pittsburgh is leading the nation in innovative care and safety. They deliver life-saving medications right to your door. With services like 24/7 emergency support and copay assistance, you can rest assured knowing that you're their #1 priority. At Chartwell, you come first every time, and they have a 99% patient satisfaction rating to prove it. Make the switch to Chartwell today. Visit them at chartwellpa.com. That's chartwellpa.com.